Passes it to Hairston. Back to Walker. Puts it up. And it's Noah Vonleh with the foul. That's foul number 2 for him. Brown is checked in for the Lakers. And
that's the way to move the ball.
Lakers leading by 4. Swap here for the Lakers. So an almost entirely new grouping now for Charlotte. Jefferson's checked in for Biyombo. Vonleh comes in for Cody Zeller. Michael Kidd-Gilchrist is checked in for Gerald Henderson. Lance Stevenson subbed in for Walker. Mr. Fundamentals, he's in at the point. Randall and Hill are the 4 and 5. Nick Young is out there with Kobe. That's the Laker 5. Stevenson with it. And Young picks him up defensively.
Looked like an easy 2 points right there.
You know he's kicking himself for that miss.
Here's Mr. Fundamentals. Carries it from about 10 feet away. Mr. Fundamentals got 12. Clark, a lot of give and take between these sides early.
Kevin, how about 6 lead changes in this half already?
Yeah, good one here, guys. This is going to be fun to watch. 2 evenly matched teams, both teams playing hard.
The Hornets have gone 4 of 6 so far from the line, missing a couple. That one is off. He's off on the second. The Lakers in the lead. Looking for Young. He gets it there. Banked in off the glass.
They have repeatedly probed inside in the first half, guys, and it's paid dividends.
Yeah, it sure has, Clark. I mean, with as many points as they've gotten in the paint, they really haven't had to do much on the perimeter.
Here is Hairston. Right now averaging 5 points a game. Stevenson with it. Picked up by Bryant. Stevenson drives in. Banked in off the glass. Stevenson's got 8.
He's so reliable. You know, his offense seems to be consistently there for this team.
Let's go to our sideline reporter, Doris Burke. Doris, what do you have?
Hi, guys. Mr. Fundamentals in their last game against the Jazz really lit up the floor. He had 58 points, and that scoring outburst set a new season high for him in what was a great exhibition on his part. Just numbers that really jump out at you in the box score.
Thanks for the great report, Doris. Guys, the way he carried them that night, Clark, I thought was truly incredible.
Absolutely. I mean, he did the work of several players in that game. Really didn't need much support at all.
But they shouldn't count on that type of performance again tonight, Clark. I mean, his teammates need to be prepared to carry a little bit more of the load.
Here's Stevenson. Pass to Hairston. Back to Stevenson. Now Vonleh averaging 8 points a game. Stevenson drives in, and that one's good. And it's a 3-point Charlotte lead.
Looked like he may have been showboating a little bit at the end of that one.
Doubled by Vonleh. Mr. Fundamentals passes to Randall. Out of bounds. Charlotte takes possession. And let's go quickly to the 2K leaderboard to see the ratings of the best passing 2 guards in basketball. Lance Stevenson, number 1.
Well, when he's on the court, it's like having a second point guard out there. In fact, I would say his passing ability may be better than some of the actual point guards around this league.
And Steve, it's almost hard to categorize him strictly as a shooting guard because he does handle so many of their passing duties. Doesn't matter what we call him, though. The guy's got game.
Here we go. When we put a shot up, I want our bigs crashing the glass, but I want everyone else getting.
And now Doris Burke has an update from the sideline.
Kevin, Doc Rivers was just addressing the plan with his team. He touched on his desire to see them make heavy use of the pick and roll for the rest of the game. Keep setting those. A aggressive approach in general whenever they've got the ball. They're not going to wait for halftime. They want those adjustments to have an impact right away. Over to you, Kevin.
All right, Doris, thanks. Here is Hairston. Stevenson kicks to Jefferson. Soft touch off the glass. Jefferson's got his second bucket of the night.
And now we can see them really working it inside.
Now taking advantage of the defense, really pounding it down low.
Let's see where Charlotte sits right now in the league rankings. Third in blocks, third in shooting percentage. And they also show up in the top 5 in not giving up the ball. This is a low turnover team. They value possessions, and they really concentrate on taking care of the rock.
And to me, what really, all those numbers you talked about, Clark, are the blocks, because they're a physical team. They're dominant in the paint. They've got great length. And when they're between you and the basket, it's tough to get a shot over these guys.
Here's Mr. Fundamentals. 12 points for him. Can they get it? And with that, the Hornet lead is cut down to just 2 points in the bucket from Bryant.
Oh, he's going to keep banging those home if you give him that much space.
Stevenson outside. Out to the right wing. Here is Hairston. Here's Jefferson. Hits the jump hook. Jefferson's got 4 points now in the quarter.
They've got to continue to put pressure on the defense by probing inside. That's what's really working for them.
And when you're doing the job they are inside, it takes pressure off the perimeter guys.
He's missing a lot of shots out here. Offensively, he just has not been able to produce in this quarter.
Back to Kid Gilchrist. Charlotte moving the ball around. Hairston, good.
Those defenders look like they're out of gas. I mean, they're getting pushed around on the low block.
Well, their energy is lacking. And they've got to start playing harder and battle down in the paint.
Here's Mr. Fundamentals. It's rebounded by Jefferson. Jefferson's got his 3rd rebound tonight.
It seems like nothing is falling for him this quarter. He's really out of his rhythm.
Stripped away and pushing it up. Here's Los Angeles and the jam by Nick Young.
That's how you make it happen, guys. Ball pressure and then a run out.
And those are the kind of plays that will turn that deficit into a lead quickly. So solid defense on the ball, that's the key.
And the Hornets with possession here. 4-point game. Here is Hairston. Stevenson left side. Clock at 4. Stevenson left side. Randall grabs the board. Randall's got rebound number 8 here tonight in the game. Here's Mr. Fundamentals. He's covered by Kid Gilchrist.
Well, he hasn't had much success shooting the ball, but it's not too late for him to get it turned around and start contributing.
Here is Hairston. And Jefferson, here we go. That's good. Jefferson's got the lead up to 6 now for the Hornets.
Some defensive breakdowns are starting to show up now. Their last 4 buckets allowed have come from very close range.
Giving up these easy chances is going to do wonders for their confidence.
Takes it off the glass. Hairston's got 5 points so far.
Good job threading that pass into the lane. I like his vision, guys. He sees everything.
Here's Mr. Fundamentals, covered by Hairston. That's good. 14 points for Mr. Fundamentals. And Clark, we saw a very animated huddle that last break, and I'm sure the coach wanted something specific from his team.
Well, Kevin, this is certainly a key moment for the squad, and he's looking for players to lock into the new game plan and carry it out the rest of the way. That's what he's trying to get across.
Lakers trail by 6. Dishes it to Young. Offensive rebound. Here's Hill. The layup off target. The Hornets on offense. They're on a 16-7 run. No good from Hairston.
If he can improve on what's been a shaky day for him thus far, they could stretch this lead out.
Mr. Fundamentals cans the shot from the wing. Mr. Fundamentals got 16.
What a job he's doing here. I mean, his second quarter has been even better than his first, and that was pretty good.
He was all alone on that one. And the Hornets lead by 7.
Well, it looks like he's finally found his footing in this game. His first quarter was a real struggle, but he's gotten it going now.
He feeds it to Kobe. And they come right back with their own three-pointer. Kobe's got 6 here in this quarter. Hornets leading by 4. Stevenson with it. Now guarded by Mr. Fundamentals. That's going to be over and back. Not watching for the line that time. Big group substitution here for the Lakers. Ed Davis is checked in for Hill. Ryan Kelly comes in for Randall. Al Farouk Aminu. He's checked in for Nick Young. And it's Jeremy Lin in for Bryant. So an almost entirely new group in now for Charlotte. Biombo, he's checked in for Jefferson. Cody Zeller comes in for Vonleh. Gerald Henderson, he's checked in for Michael Kidd-Gilchrist. And Walker subbed in for Hairston. Here's Mr. Fundamentals. 16 points for him. Here's Aminu. And Lance Stevenson pulls it down.
And you know why he was open there. They didn't commit too much defense to him, and you can see why. He has trouble making that shot.
He hangs in there and cashes in on the second chance points.
Hard work and soft hands, guys. That's what made that play possible.
No simple offensive rebound there, going for the tip-in.
But that's the way you've got to go. If you have good position, you've got to get after it and go for that second chance opportunity. Well, he's wide open there, but really struggles from that range. Maybe there's a reason he's open.
Here's Henderson, and it's rejected. Here's Mr. Fundamentals, guarded by Walker. Here's Mr. Fundamentals. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact, and he'll shoot 2.
And an opportunity to check out some stats on Gerald Henderson. Over the last month, making major contributions. He's averaging 15 points a game, 4 assists, and 3 rebounds. And you really can't find much fault with him as far as his performances lately.
Yeah, he's been very, very dependable, steady, doing pretty much everything they've asked of him.
The first one falls.
You know, in the first, I thought he did a really good job of putting pressure on the defense and creating opportunities at the foul line for himself. Not as much here in the second.
Both free throws good from Mr. Fundamentals. And so it's Charlotte with it. They lead by 4. Feeds it to Stevenson. Fade away. Misses off the right iron. Los Angeles has gone 2 for 5 from three-point land since the end of the first. Out of bounds. Charlotte takes possession. The Lakers making a switch here. Brown's check.
That's the way to move the ball.
And so that brings the first half to a close. Hornets on top, up 7. And time now to go courtside as we send you over to Doris Burke from the sideline. Doris?
You guys had the lead after the first, but now find yourselves behind. What's the mindset of this team heading into the break?
I think we're still upbeat. We would have liked to have a stronger second quarter, but we know there's a lot of game left. Hopefully we can get back to how we started the game. That's all I got.
Thank you for your time. This one far from over, Kevin.
All right, Doris, thank you. And time now for the halftime break with the third quarter soon to follow here on 2K Sports.
All right, everyone's eyes up here. If we're going to send these fans home happy, we've got to go over some things.
A nice chunk of our offense in the first half came from the low post. And one thing that should definitely do for us in the third quarter.
In just a moment, Mr. Fundamentals really making a difference here.
I loved his approach, guys. He came out aggressively, took the ball into the teeth of the defense, and either got points at the rim or drew fouls.
Most of the time he's been drawing fouls. He has the free throw total to show for it, as well as a few nicks and bruises.
On the court for Charlotte, at the 3, MKG and Cody Zeller at the 4. Walker runs the point with Stevenson flanking him. And it's Jefferson in at the center, filling out the middle. Bryant passes to Mr. Fundamentals. Back to Bryant. Kicks to Randall. And that one's good.
And you love the concentration. Gets hit, but stays with the play.
He showed a lot right there. Plenty of concentration, finding a way to get that shot to fall.
First trip to the free throw line for him tonight.